Hey, folks, welcome to the second edition of Three Slurred Minutes Sober Edition, your second afternoon drop. I wonder if I can put this link somewhere. I probably should figure this out before I started going crazy here. There we go. I meant to get into some of these things in the first one. It's a totally separate topic, right? We're not talking about Bryce Harper in this one. We're talking about the NL Central. It was one of the most common questions that actually came up during this thing. We had a lot of questions about Bryce Harper, and we've also had a ton of questions about Bryce Harper. So we covered the Bryce Harper thing, but what are the let's do that now. I think it's something that we need to dig into. So the National League Central, just like we all predicted, as currently sits. Pittsburgh Pirates on top, 20-14. St. Louis Cardinals, 20-15, second, half a game back. The Chicago Cubs, 18-17, 2.5 back. The Milwaukee Brewers at 14-20, they're about where they should have been. And then at the bottom, the Cincinnati Reds at 13-19. Now, nobody in this division, or in this league, is as high on the Reds as Cincinnati GM Scott is. Scott, my apologies, I forgot your last name in this moment. I should have done a Zoom Live. The reason I'm doing YouTube Live, though, is because it'll upload to the at least I know how to upload it to the website. If you want to do a Zoom Live, like roundtable thing, I've got tons of questions I can prep people with, and we can do a live one later on, and we can have that experience. I thought they were a blast with anonymous GM running them. But speaking about the NL Central, I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes, and I'm already off to a bad start. So we look at the National League Central. Let's talk about what the hell's going on here, right? Starting with the Pirates. Now, one of the big questions I got that came in across the board that I still want to spend time on was, are the Pirates contenders or pretenders? And by far and away, my theory here, and I don't think it's wrong, the Pirates are pretenders. 2014 is a fantastic start, but you take nothing away from this team. You've got to give a ton of credit to this group out here in Pittsburgh. Oh, come on. Yeah, you're going to freeze on me now? Okay, well, now I can't get into my game or see what's going on. But the Pirates themselves, you have to give credit, right? They are a team that is producing well above their payroll, well above their expectations. They don't show outward signs of slowing down, but when you really dig deep into it, you see that they've essentially feasted, right, on some of these really shitty teams in the league. They feasted on the Orioles, the Brewers, the Cubs, who have been better than typical, but the Cubs have lost the majority of the games they played against the Pirates. This month has them set up to go against the Mets, the Yankees, the Cardinals twice, right? It's starting to get into some of these tougher games that they're look at. And I don't know that they're going to be able to keep up what they've been living through. So I can't see the Pirates going forward, right? You've got guys like Schlecht. He's not hitting 30 home runs, driving 130 RBIs. It's not happening this year. Arcia also not hitting 24 home runs. So there's unsustainable power on one side. There's an easy schedule on the other. Things even out, and I think the Pirates slip back to where they should be this year, which is further down that line. Now that opens the spot back up for the rightful heir of this division, in my opinion, the St. Louis Cardinals, right? You look at them even after the Evan Longoria trade, and I think they're sitting at the top of this division comfortably. If I could get into the fucking game, this would be easier because I can't remember the name of the guys who took over in that third base slot. And if I could, I'd be able to talk to you a little bit about why I think they're going to be okay, even losing that production from Longoria. But the Cardinals are the best team in this division, right? The Reds are good, but they're also sitting far back behind, so we have to ignore them for just a second. The Cubbies are well ahead of schedule, I think, in terms of their full rebuild. Now, you look up and down that roster, they don't have the pieces to go around Ed Harris in center field yet, but they will. There's a ton of talent in that minor league system. They've been developing very slowly, and they will get to their productive rate here in a couple of years. But 18-17, I think, is still even an unsustainable pace for the Cubs. I think you see them drop back off and finish 10 to 15, 20 games below 500. The Brewers, they have no interest in competing this year, nor will they compete this year, which brings us down to the most interesting piece, in my opinion, the Reds. So David Chester, 30-plus years old. Will Myers, 29 years old, if I'm not mistaken. J.D. Martinez, 33 years old. Dustin Pedroia, 36 years old, Jonathan LaCroix, 34 years old. Archie Bradley, 28. Chris Sale, 33. Michael Wacha, 30-plus. Brad Peacock, late 20s or 30s, if I'm not mistaken. Joe Hanrahan, old. Craig Kimbrell, old. This team is old. This is the Reds' shot. This year, next year maybe, but you're already seeing the decline in production from a guy like Cameron Maven, right? Which is scary if I'm me. Jonathan LaCroix is no longer a viable offensive threat in this league. Great defensively. This team has a shrinking window in a division with two teams that I think are well on pace to have the rebuild be completed in the next couple of years. You look at Chicago and you look at Milwaukee. A team like Pittsburgh, who, yes, well, I've just said that they're playing well above their beyond what they're capable of. They have some very good pieces, specifically offensively, right? They traded with Pedro Jimenez, one of the best pitching prospects in the league, maybe a month ago, and brought in Alec Braum and Jared Stevens, if I'm not mistaken, from the Atlanta Braves, two very good infield prospects, and they're like 21, 22-year-old areas. So they're not single A prospects; these are double A, triple A prospects. Where the Pirates could be a viable threat here in a couple of years, right? So if I'm looking at the Reds, starting slow, but still feeling like they compete, if they still believe, which I do believe that Scott Gessford believes that he has the best roster in the National League Central. If not, if you ask the guy, one of the best rosters in the National League to take down a team like the Mets, I think you have to go out and pull the trigger to get Bryce Harper. No, I don't know what the exact ask has been. I don't. I've been given snippets from both sides on what the ask is and where the talks died, but I can't see any prospects in this farm system. And there's a couple of offensive pieces that are untouchable, right? But if you can take Green, Pena, Owen, any of these guys over here on this farm system and package them with something that needs to be sent over to Toronto, get a guy like Bryce Harper, 27 years old, in the middle of this roster, sit there with Chester, Myers, Martinez, Maben, that's a legitimate shot. And sorry, Scott, I'm just tearing this team apart. Not intentional. This is supposed to be unbiased, takes here on the league and on the teams. But that's what I see. And to be fair, I'm saying this because I do see the Reds as a viable team in this division. I think the Reds can go out and beat the Cardinals. Not as constructed, but if they can add a piece, right? We all know they were in on Greg Bird earlier in the year. I don't know that Greg Bird makes a lot of sense for this team just because, you got LaCroix. Bird's an upgrade for sure, but, that's not your biggest hole. LaCroix's not going to kill you long term. I think a guy – I guess if you really look at this, where does Harper fit in? That's a fair question because I don't know. Martinez, Myers, and Maben aren't exactly killing you. So if you look at that, there's another option that another Mitch could have. But to me, if it's not Harper, the Reds have to go get somebody. And I don't know where the bat is that's available on this market right now that comes at a price the Reds seemingly are willing to pay to bring somebody in, which from what I've been told, isn't high, right? They're trying to hang on to Green, Owens, another guy that they're trying to hang on to. Where does this team go? Because I think, and the main point I wanted to talk about the National League Central, I feel like we skipped over a lot of these guys, but you have to consider these other four viable options for the next couple of years. Even St. Louis doesn't have a super old roster. They've got some guys coming through. If you look outside of Kershaw, right? They're going to get younger. The Reds' window's now. And that's one of the questions we've had come up. And one of the videos we'll do in a little while is talking about the Astros. Did they miss their window, right? We'll look at the Diamondbacks. Did they time their window perfectly? Because it looks like they did from the outside. The Reds are sitting in their window to compete. And my question becomes, will they pull the trigger on going out and getting somebody? Now, I said all this, and then I started looking at the roster again and thinking, where the hell's Bryce Harper fit in, and who does he upgrade? I don't know out here in Cincinnati, but you just paid the guy, so you got to get them a shot. But still, I think it's worth the shot. If I am the Reds, I'm going out and I'm moving heaven and earth to bring in a bat. We all know that Bryce Harper was available. That's why the rumors came through here. That's been number two, guys. I rambled longer than I wanted to. Keep it over 10 minutes. Fuck, I went over 10 minutes. We'll probably talk about more this afternoon. If we can get enough people around for a Zoom panel call, I'd love to do it. Those are a lot of fun. So we can hopefully get Anonymous or Scott or some of the other guys that have jumped on some of these videos. I'd love to get the Buckholz brothers. The Buckholz brothers told me a couple years ago that they'd get on some things with me. Guys, we got the Zoom video set up. We can get on Zoom now. Love to do a Zoom call with the Buckholz brothers and talk baseball. Let me know. Thanks for watching. This is number 2.